Oh, right. So this is F1 2017, and this is going to be the last video I do of this game. Indeed, it's probably the last time I'm ever going to load it, now that I have 2018. But this is something that I was going to do a while ago, actually, and I never got round to it. So I figured it would be a good swan song for F1 2017. Now, not many people saw it, rather understandably, but John Gage did do a review of F1 2017, and as always, he had barely played it and didn't know what the fuck he was doing, and made it all too clear that he didn't, to the point where in order to just complete one lap, he had to set the game, well, a very specific way. So let's do a single Grand Prix. We'll start a new one, although Australia is going to be the circuit that we'll be doing. So in the Gage video, he was in the Mercedes because he is utterly obsessed with Lewis fucking Hamilton, British diva cunt, as I prefer to call him. So, well, for this one we won't take the Mercedes because it's the best car on the grid. So we'll take the worst car on the grid, the Sauber, and we'll race as Marcus Ericsson, who is possibly the worst driver in F1 2017, apart from maybe Lance Stroll. And yeah, we'll race at Australia because on this screen Gage didn't know how to change the circuit. Moving the thing left and right never occurred to him. So, alright, there we go. Now, let's change it to the settings that he had, or more or less. Practice type, well, I won't do any practice. I will set a qualifying session, because that way I can then change it to how I particularly want it. We'll have the assisted starts. Race distance, normally I do 50%, but for this one we'll do 25%. Then you get to the AI driver level, and well, I guess the title of this video will give away what's happening here, but we'll set it to the level that Gage had to set it in order to complete one lap. Yep, AI driver level 0. So right, for race settings, yeah, I'll leave flashbacks on, leave park Fermi rules, all that is not going to make any difference. For reasons that should be apparent, I'm actually going to, no, I'm not going to turn vehicle damage off, but we'll set it to reduced, because I have a feeling that I'm going to be catching up with 0 AI at a hell of a rate. I'll keep the safety car off because that's still bugged. It's never going to be fixed, especially not now that 2018 is out. Right, weather, I don't want it to be fucking raining, so we'll set it to afternoon clear race. Okay, so let's get the game sort of underway.
Welcome to Melbourne, where
skip
qualifying
that
for the
before it
Australian
gets
Grand Prix
bloody
should be
copyright
getting underway
strike.
shortly.
Right, so qualifying is underway.
Okay,
now.
You should be able to get into the next qualifying session easily, so try to get a hot lap in early so we can save the tyres.
Yeah, I will definitely, against naught AI, it would always be easy. Now, I could go to setup, but I'm not going to. I'm going to leave the Sauber completely stock. And then we're going to end the session so that I qualify last. So I will be starting at the back of the grid. Yeah, so there's me, Marcus Ericsson, no time. So I'm in the worst car, whereas he was in the best. I'm starting last, whereas he, I think, often started on pole.
We're almost ready to go then, and this is what the starting grid looks like for today's race. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, edging out Raikkonen, who'll start P2. Looking down...
We don't need to know the grid, we know I'm last.
Okay, be wary of the cars ahead braking suddenly into one. We could ruin our race if we hit them. Good luck.
Right, so for race strategy, right, we'll edit strategy. So we'll start on the hardest compound, and then on stint 2 we'll go to the second hardest. So we won't use the option tyre, we'll use the 2 prime tyres. So yeah, so I'm going to have the least grip of anybody on the track. Okay, right, so that's all ready. Let's start the race. The next thing is I will not change engine mode at all. I'm going to keep it in standard from start to finish. Here we go. So at the first corner I'm up to 16th. Next corner I'm up to 12th. By now Gage has crashed out on all but one of his attempts at this circuit. Now my intention is not just to pass everybody and win the race. I'm actually trying to lap the entire field. So I've got to pass everyone once, and then we'll see how many we can then lap in a stock Sauber. I have to say, although this Sauber is, well, slow, it does actually feel quite nice to drive. Then again, it feels pretty good to drive in F1 2018. Oh, fucking hell. Right, so lap 1 of 15, I'm in 9th place. I might have to get a bit of a move on if I'm going to do this lapping the entire field bit. I might have to get a move on if I'm going to lap anyone. But, well, I've already lasted longer than you know who. One of the reasons why I'm not using the multifunction display is that, well, firstly, you know, this race is going to be stupidly easy anyway. But secondly, not only did Gage not use it at any point in his video review of this game, despite it being a key feature of the game, he also was totally unaware that it existed. Didn't use it, didn't mention it, not a thing. So anyway, we're approaching the end of the second lap, and I have gone from 20th to 6th, even though I'm sticking in you know, standard.
Race officials have enabled DRS. DRS is now available.
Standard revs. You know, I haven't changed engine mode. It's in mode 2 all the time. I have the worst grip of any of the cars out there, and of course I'm in the slowest car on the grid. Coming up to Danny Ricciardo in his Red Bull, and here I am in a fucking Sauber, and I just passed him like he wasn't moving.
Okay, clear.
The fucking a Sauber outbreak a fucking Red Bull. Of course, the Sauber in 2017 was using a 2016 engine. The reason, well, one of the reasons why the car was so slow, because its engine was not up to spec, using the previous year's engines.
1.5 seconds.
Okay, I won't use DRS either. I would do when I'm racing like this. And, well, I hit Raikkonen. I think he also hit me in return. So we're at the third. Vettel is next. So it looks like Bottas is in the lead at the moment. We're on lap 4. Don't think I am going to lap the entire field, but I mean, I should lap some cars, which is still ridiculous given that I'm driving like a cunt, as I've just shown there. And so I'm in the slowest car, and I started last. I didn't even do a fucking qualifying lap. And I'm not using any, you know, I haven't changed the setup or anything. The car is totally stock. Look how much I caught up with Vettel there at that corner. Okay, he's on the power sooner here, but oh, fuck that one up. So he's going to pull away a bit. So even though I fucked up that corner, I went purple in that sector. It's not Bottas who's up ahead, it must be British Diva cunt who's leading. So Rather unsurprisingly, British diva cunt, followed by German diva cunt, followed by this cunt here. I do need to get a bit of a move on if I'm going to lap anyone, because not only have I got to clear German diva cunt and then British diva cunt, but then I've got to get some fucking fast laps in to try and lap the rest of the field. I mean, I'm already like half a lap, already half a lap ahead of the back markers, so I've just put in the fastest lap of the race. Hulkenberg's out. Well, okay. I'm not going to lap 20 people in, that's for sure. There's only 19 left. Come on, I've got to be passing German diva cunt soon. Again, I fucked that corner up. Fucking German diva cunt is all over the road. It was almost as if he was about to let me through. Like blue flags job. I'll outbrake him here. Yep, there we go. Job done. That's into P2. Next is British diva cunt. Let's try and get this fucker.
Some information on Verstappen. They seem to have an issue.
Every car on the grid has an issue. They have no AI. You know, they're not going to do.
Caution.
Fuck all. What's the caution? Yellow flags are out. Oh, Hulkenberg right there. What a place to stop. Tell you what, old German diva cunt ain't giving up. He's staying right up my arse. I'm sure it's not the first time that he's done that with someone.
We're approaching the pit window. You'll be on the super softs.
I can't imagine anybody else doing 2 stops, so yeah, the pit stops shouldn't really change very much. It would just keep things at the status quo. Where the fuck is this cunt? He's fucking pitted. I passed him in the fucking pit lane, so I am leading. I was wondering why I couldn't fucking see him. He like completely disappeared down the fucking road. Was I meant to pit that? No. I meant to pit, I think it's the end of the next lap. You think that being unable to do a lap without the AI being on 0 sounds ridiculous. which it is. Other highlights in his review included crashing out of a race when he hadn't even done 200 yards. Or to put it another way, he hadn't even got off the start-finish straight. So he couldn't even go in a fucking straight line. Then there was... There we go, so we're pitting at the end of this lap. Then there was the... he spent ages constantly banging on about, how do I fucking lower or turn off car damage. Including at one point he was saying this while in the game main menu with vehicle damage highlighted. And he couldn't see it. Oh, fucking hell. Now, of course, I was willing to let all this slide and not fucking mention anything about it. But then, of course, he was an absolute cunt over me daring to criticise him over his shitty Spy vs Spy review for Commodore 64. And he made the same mistake as Daddy07 and Rusty Dog of thinking that they would somehow be immune from me like taking the piss or pointing out what a fucking cunt someone's being. No, no one is. And I've had plenty of people taking the piss out of me on in videos and you know and everything else. I don't give a fuck. But if you claim that you don't give a fuck about, you know, me taking the piss and me criticising things, and worse still, you keep banging on about how hilarious it is when I take the piss out of things and how when I absolutely tear into them, but then go on to show that you can't take it when you are the subject matter of such thing. Yeah, not a good idea, pal. So right, so we changed tyres. So we're still in the lead. I've only got 5 laps. I haven't lapped anyone yet, but I have gone from last to first in the shittiest car on the grid. Now there is one car that's going around very slowly. I'm assuming that's Verstappen. So if I can at least lap him, that will be okay. There are of course only 19 runners still going. This game feels weird because since I last played it, I had to change my controller after the small issue of me smashing my Xbox 360 controller to fuck when I got so unbelievably fucked off with Pinball FX3, and I couldn't get a new Xbox 360 controller, so I ended up getting an Xbox One controller, which of course has the throttle controls. The vibration motors are in, or rumble motors, whatever you want to fucking call them, but they're in the throttles as well as the main one. And this game uses the throttle rumble pad, whatever you want to fucking call them, and it feels fucking weird. I'm not sure I like it, but I am sure I don't like it. 2018 doesn't use them, it uses the regular rumble thing, which is fine by me.
There's 5 laps of fuel remaining.
Okay, now Pascal
is in the pits.
Verliner's only just pitted. Surely, I know there's a couple of others who are pitting now as well. Only pitting now. What do they do after? There's a mandatory pit stop. So Now, of course, there'll be some who will say, "Oh, you're using some driver aids." Gage wasn't. Well, perhaps there's some pretty good indication that he should have fucking used some. I mean, can you imagine?
Okay, you're creating some breathing space between you and the car behind by a few seconds per lap.
Can you imagine paying, like, you know, 45 quid or whatever it was for F1, you know, 20, or in fact any driving game? And the best you can do is one lap before you then crash out as you normally do. And in order to do that, you have to basically race against AI that has been utterly lobotomized. Yeah, that's fucking 45 quid well spent. I dread to think what he would be like in 2018. Well, I know one thing for sure, he won't use the fucking manual ERS control. Yes, I do keep deliberately referring to it as ERS. I know it really is meant to be like ERS, but think about it. When it was just the kinetic energy recovery system, it was referred to as KERS. So yeah, I'm being Mr. Pedantic. They took off the K bit, so it's ERS. I've only got 2 laps to go after this one. I might lap a couple of cars. The first one is my teammate, Pascal Wehrlein. Fucking, what was that shit? Alright, so just this lap and the next one to go. But I did see Wehrlein up ahead. He's not that far. Yeah, just saw him go around the corner there. So I'll just put in another purple first sector time. Fucking bollocking that up every fucking time I go near it. I thought I'd cut that corner. Yeah, I did. Alright, so I am gonna lap someone surely, because I see Wehrlein staying ahead. There's someone else up ahead as well. So Wehrlein is getting blue flags telling him that he's about to be lapped by a car that started behind him on the grid. Next is Van Dorn. I think this is about the only time I've seen Van Dorn. Oh, Massa's out. About the only time I've seen Van Dorn in F1 2017, because of course I took his seat in the career mode. So I've lapped 2. I've lapped everyone up to 16th place. There's Massa.
Okay, clear.
Don't think I'm going to lap anyone else. I am gaining on them, but if I'd stuck it on 50%, which I usually race, then I would have, but 25% looks like it was asking a bit too much. So there we go. Kept it in mode 2 the whole fucking time. Completely stock Sauber.
Just fantastic. You deserve that race win.
Started last, finished first. Used the 2 hardest compounds. What a joke. Fucking naught AI is naught challenge.
What a superb victory. And Anthony Davidson, give me your thoughts. How did they accomplish this result?
Well, when you overtake that many people, I'd certainly hope you'd win the race. Their car was really effective in the slipstream here today, and the team will be pleased that they didn't cook the engine, given how long they were spending in the hot air behind other cars. They had a lot of confidence to push their tyres hard as well, especially going into the corners, which allowed for some late braking and some exciting passes.
Yeah, it was entirely slipstreaming and late braking that did it. It had nothing to do with the fact that the AI were all utterly fucking useless.
It just goes to show what a strong position the sport is in, that these independent teams can be so competitive. What a superb victory from the Sauber team.
I wonder who'll get driver of the day. It'll probably still be Max Verstappen.
Moving on to the driver of the day then. Anthony Davidson, who would you go for?
Oh, maybe Marcus Ericsson? Yes, I think I'll commit to that one. Marcus Ericsson, fine job, very consistent.
That's it for today's Grand Prix, and from Ant and I, it's goodbye, and see you again next time.
So there you go. So I failed in my main objective to try and lap the entire field. If I'd done the 50% race distance, I would have succeeded. But yeah, so I lapped everyone. Well, I say everyone from 17th down. I mean, 2 of those were DNFs, but I lapped Verline and Van Dorn, despite the fact that I was in the worst car on the grid. Started 20th. Never used any engine mode other than mode 2. Used the 2 hardest compound tyres. That's the challenge that 0% AI gives you. Unless you're so shit at the game that you have to set the AI to 0 just to do a lap. So that's this this video done. That's F1 2017 done. No more videos of this one. We're going back to 2018 for the next one. So now go away.